There is still a chance for the Patriots to wind up with a 1 seed, get the bye, and have home field throughout, the bulk of the playoffs, at least up until Super Bowl Sunday. That would require a Patriots win against the Miami Dolphins, and it would also require a Denver loss. As we mentioned, the Chargers do not plan to play their starters in that game. Had they won last week, it would have been Denver and LA for the AFC West title, but that is not how it went. So Justin Herbert will not be out there. It'll be Trey Lance getting the start. So Keegan, as you aptly mentioned, the NFL schedule makers, they do this pretty darn well, and these games take place at the same time. So there might be some scoreboard watching that's going on, and maybe late in the game it has a little bit of an impact, but it's going to take some time in all likelihood to get to that point, unless, of course, it's a huge blowout in Mile High Stadium. When you talk about what that means for New England and who they might be matched up against in week one, if they don't, in fact, wind up with the 1 seed, a number of different scenarios here. So let's just kind of roll through them and showcase what we mean here. This is what is needed for the Patriots to host Buffalo. It would mean a Patriots win, a Broncos win, and a Bills loss. They're taking on the Jets. After last weekend, I have a really hard time seeing that as a likelihood. You look at the next scenario for that, a Patriots loss versus Miami, Broncos win, Bills win, Jags win, Texans win. I'm not going to say that's impossible. That's my own perspective on that one, Keegan. What do you think?
Yeah, that feels much more likely than the first one. I don't see Buffalo losing to New York in any simulation of the world. It's just not going to happen. The other one, obviously, it's a lot more things that need to happen. If anybody's ever thrown a parlay together, that's immediately going to kill it. Just somebody always ruins something for it. So it's another one of those situations where, there's a reason we've kind of talked about the Chargers as the definite, because if you look at one of the other scenarios, for the Patriots to play the Texans, there are a few different things that need to happen there as well. It's the Patriots lose to Miami, which we've both mentioned. That is a possibility. But then the Texans would have to lose to Indy, which feels unlikely given the last several weeks. The Broncos, Jaguars, and Bills would all win their games. Those feel much more likely than the other two scenarios. Or the Patriots lose to Miami, the Chargers beat Denver, the Bills beat the Jets, the Titans beat the Jaguars, and the Colts beat Houston. That feels like if you want to put all those things together and have those happen, buy a lottery ticket, because
I was going to say, can you go buy me a lottery ticket if you're putting those things together and having them happen, please?
That is not going to happen.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I don't know anyone who's sitting there going, "Ooh, I want that matchup in the first round." I don't think so. I mean, that Texans defense is legit. No, thank you. That's not the one that if I'm writing it, I'm going to sit there and sign up for. When it comes to the Jaguars and what it would look like for the Patriots to host them, it would be a New England loss, a Chargers win, a Bills win, a Titans win against the Chargers, and then a Texans win against Indianapolis. Stranger things have happened, yes. But it feels like there's a but there. I don't know. I mean, the Titans beating the Jags, that feels like a stretch this weekend to me.
Yeah. That's a scenario where one unlikely scenario needs to take place for it to happen. So, one will take. 5, probably not so much. But the reason we've been talking about the Chargers, here's the Chargers situation. It's about as clear cut as it gets. It's the Patriots win their matchup. The Broncos win their matchup with the Chargers, who aren't playing their starters, and the Bills win, kind of something that we all expect to happen. Or the Patriots lose, the Broncos win, the Bills win, the Titans win, and the Colts win. So another one where it's a long road to get there, but the first scenario is about what we would expect. Broncos taking care of business against an undermanned Chargers team, the Patriots and Bills both doing their jobs against AFC East foes. That is what I am putting my ticket in to see on a wild card weekend. That's what I expect to see.
Yeah. And look, I mean, that is a game that should it come to fruition, as many expect that it will be talked about, and talked about, obviously, over the course of the next week and a half leading up to it. What do you make of that matchup for the New England Patriots?
Yeah, history would tell us it's a great matchup. The Patriots just don't lose to the Chargers at Gillette Stadium in the playoffs. We've got about 45 examples of it over the last 2 decades. So history, it's a good thing. On paper, I don't think any of the wild card matchups, the most likely wild card matchups, I'll say Jacksonville is in a different league, but Chargers, Texans, Bills, I look at all of them and they all present different problems. The Bills, we all know how I feel about Josh Allen. The uh, the Texans, that defense is insane. The Chargers, they don't really have a specific thing. I think Justin Herbert's a great young quarterback. I think the running game coming on as strong as it has in recent weeks is a little bit scary to think of. Their defense is also very opportunistic. They force a lot of turnovers. So all of those things, but I think the Patriots match up best with them out of the current wild card teams. So I think it is the most positive scenario for the New England Patriots, just in terms of the fact that they're going to be able to look on paper and say, all right, we trust our quarterback against that defense. We trust that our defense, even though we don't get after the passer as well as we would hope, against a beat-up offensive line, against a quarterback who has taken a lot of hits this season, especially from the interior, and you expect to have Milton Williams back, I think it is a good matchup for the Patriots.
Yeah, I would agree on a lot of levels. I mean, and look, I mean, any coach is going to tell you, to get where you want to go, you got to beat the very best. So who cares how you get there and what you have to go through along the way?
Right.
You just got to go play your game and play a complete 60 minutes of turnover-free, sound football. And I think that there's something to be said for that, particularly in a year where. And we've talked about this some, but it's like the NFC just feels like this juggernaut. The AFC feels like it's in a very different place than what it has been in years past. Obviously, you don't know who's going to be in terms of, will it be Baltimore or will it be Pittsburgh? They have the last game of Week 18 to determine who's going to be the representative in the AFC North. But you don't have Patrick Mahomes in there this year. We don't know if Lamar is going to be in there. I don't know. Like, take your pick. Do you want Aaron Rodgers? We all know what he's capable of as a quarterback. Is he able to do it with the Pittsburgh Steelers and this iteration of the team around him? They won't have DK Metcalf out there for Week 18 against Baltimore. But I guess the reason I bring it up is because the NFC, it just feels like they are just going to have to knock heads, every week of the playoffs to decide who's going to be the representative in Santa Clara, for the Super Bowl in February. And the AFC feels very differently. How much, in your estimation, does that mean that the path is open for the New England Patriots, I guess, to find their way, to navigate it and string together the wins that they would need?
Yeah, I think if you ran through, say, 1,000 simulations of just the way the current playoff picture looks and how it would pan out, exactly what you said is expected to happen in the NFC will happen in most of them, and that is that they are knockdown, drag-out fights. It's a lot of teams that are equally as talented, that match up well against each other, that are going to take each other to the woodshed, essentially. And whoever comes out of that, I see, it's like you come out of a war of attrition and you're standing there and all of your armor's been ripped off and you've got half a sword and like your helmet's off and you're like, oh, all right, who's next? And then you've got some fresh, clean team from the AFC who rolled through, and I've touted the Bills' horns. I've been a big fan of kind of how they've put their team together and what they're capable of, but I don't necessarily know if it has to be them. Like, I think Buffalo, New England, and maybe Houston, those are the 3 teams to me that if they get on a roll, they could kind of roll through the AFC playoffs, and then it's as close of a matchup as you can predict with a really powerful, talented NFC team who's been through the ringer and an AFC team that is flawed but has kind of rolled through the playoffs and hasn't had to deal with as much. And I would say that gives them an advantage. So Patriots perspective, if that is the Patriots, if you win your first home playoff game, say you don't end up having to go out to Denver, which is always an adventure when the Patriots have to go out there, and you come out of the AFC, I don't hate their chances in a Super Bowl matchup against pretty much anybody. But that's all simulation talk. We could come back a month from now and we're talking about the Super Bowl and it's like, all right, the Seahawks just rolled through the NFC playoffs. I want no part of that team. So it's a difficult game to play, but I do see a world in which that is the case, in which the Patriots roll through the AFC playoffs and they feel good about a Super Bowl matchup, no matter who it is.